Many men, many men wish death upon me. Guys, game over. That's it. All she wrote. Fourth quarter. There's no more time on the clock as far as the 2024 election goes. This is it. This was the game winner. This is the walk-off home run right here, right before your eyes. What a world, huh? But is anything less than pure insanity to be expected at this point? Seriously, guys. I mean, it's been so nuts for forever that this honestly could have, you should have seen it, could have seen it. Tucker Carlson called it a while ago. And I want to be clear about this, guys. Trump and the global weirdos, the Obamas, Murphys, Bidens of the world, it's been like Tom and Jerry for the better part of a decade. Remember, during his presidency, how hard they went to impeach him, right? They impeached him 3 times, and every single time, absolutely skated. They've been invested. This man is one of the most investigated people to ever exist. And ironically enough, yesterday, I was at church because there was a little thing there, and I was stopped and I spoke to the pastor who the week prior in a portion of the service had referred to the acquittal, well, not the acquittal, but the Supreme Court ruling that Trump had presidential immunity, going as far as to compare Sonia Sotomayor's dissent to that of some scientist, I believe, in Nazi Germany. And I checked him on it hard. I'm like, can you stop pushing propaganda? Okay, he's an immigrant. I'm trying to give him as much leeway as humanly possible. But I'm like, that's clearly propaganda. Because guess what? America is not Nazi Germany. Why do you keep drawing these parallels? They are dangerous. And less than 10 hours later, this is what happens. And regardless of if you think it actually happened or not, because we do live in this strange world now where people have been like, well, that's a fake shooting and everything else like that. None of that matters anymore. This right here, the fact that, hey, if it was fake and it was staged, it's created this type of, I'm seeing people such as the cornerback, Sauce Gardner for the Jets, comes out and says, like, yeah, I'm voting for Trump now. Like, this right here, boom, donezo. Okay? The other guy is babbling. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Biden cooked this on up to get people away from Biden's incoherent mutterings and clear signs of dementia and the like. But it is what it is, fellas. I mean, at the end of the day, we can sit here and say that we've been sitting at the finish line since 2020. If you guys can recall from the video that I did at the end of at the end of the last election in 2020, I was like, hey, it is what it is. This is the game as it's playing it right now. But come 2024, he'll be back, and here we are. So, guys, with that being said and done, let's go salt mining, eh? Let's go salt mining on this. First and foremost, who we have here is the shooter, who, let's be real, looks like a shooter. Okay? Like if you were to sit there in casting and be like, you know what? I want somebody who would hear all the rhetoric. Because right now, the FBI says they're investigating and looking for his motive, as if we don't already know what the motive is. I mean, you spent, once again, the better part of a decade calling this man Hitler, calling his support, the most racist and vile thing ever. And this young man sat here for, because the majority of his life, he's a young man. So the majority of his life, he's been fed this line, this bullshit, if we're being 100% honest with you. And now, everybody's ducking for cover. All the news people and everybody else, they're like, oh my goodness, this has no place in America. We shouldn't have any place for in this in America. When, let's be real, like, for the better part of a decade, a strong portion of the population has been encouraged to be as insane about this man as humanly possible. But speaking of insanity,
you can't say that over the phone. My dad.
Hold on. Okay, so let's watch all just the worst people, the usual suspects, be the usual suspects. I mean, strokes though, until she starts running her mouth, as usual.
My dad just called me to tell me that Trump got shot, and I said good over the phone. And he was like, don't say that over the phone. Like, you can't say that over the phone. And I just want to make...
Can't really say that at all, sweetheart, because that means you are a awful human being. So today, I go back to church, right? And I'm listening, I'm waiting. And honestly, credit where it's due, when the pastor did speak of the shooting, right? He prayed for Trump. He was very respectful in it. And the congregation was, what's the name? The congregation, there was some murmurings, what have you, but everybody was like, saying quiet and respectful of it. Because that's what decent people do. Decent people don't sit there and spike the ball when a tragedy happens or a tragedy is avoided. Despite what we may think of another person, we don't want other people harmed. But here we are. This is what you guys made.
This as a public apology to my FBI agent. I don't believe in guns, but I just wanted to support a good cause. My dad...
Do you think that was it?
Bro really tried to bring that shit back.
Let's listen to the reincarnation of Craig Mack and what he has to say.
I'm not saying that I would ever try to assassinate a presidential candidate. All I'm saying is that if I went through all of that fucking trouble, I wouldn't miss. I wouldn't graze that nigga. He wouldn't be able to raise a fist.
At least the other one had a daddy to tell her that was wrong. I can damn near guarantee he does not have such an influence in his life.
Would finish the fucking job. We cooked. They killed that nigga on the spot. The nigga who shot at Trump, they killed that nigga on the spot. He ain't get to breathe for 10 more minutes after that. No trial. None of that shit. You died.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why it is a suicide mission to not just go after Trump, but to go after any elected official. It's one of the ways that, the government, it like protects itself, insulates itself. Whereas, like, if you gonna go, remember, The Wire, when when Stringer wanted to go at Clay Davis, and Avon came in and was like, whoa, you don't waste somebody good. You got to get somebody with nothing to lose for that, bruh.
Today, I think we're cooked. I think this is one of the moments in history where niggas is gonna look back and be like, damn, that was when I knew he was cooked. When niggas failed to assassinate Donald Trump, Khalid knew we were cooked. Like, what the... Let me say, first off, before I even post that video, let me say that respect to that nigga for trying to restore the feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, just absolutely no respect. Absolutely no respect. Because at the end of the day, this is not how we conduct ourselves in a civilized society. And if you don't want to be civilized, then by all means, go to another society. But no, you're not going to do that. See, these people are such hypocrites and so delusional. And honestly, like, once again, I sincerely doubt that there's a dad involved anyway here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what else we got. I don't want to play the song, but hey, just thinking about how the hitter missed his hit at the former president, despite firing 8 rounds, made me think of all the times we could have been something, but the timing wasn't right. Let's give it another shot. We got some sad, sick people in the world.
So close. So close. I'm not going to expand on what I'm about to say because it'll probably get taken down. But, like, A for effort, man. Good for trying. He tried.
Women, huh?
And you missed. How the literally had one job. One fucking job. A job that lots of other people wish they could have. And you had it. And you missed. How the fuck did you miss? Not only did you...
Telling y'all, man, women are homosexuals. Women are homosexuals. You sit there and say, oh yeah, we want to be involved in the conversation and we should have, equality and everything else like that. And there's a huge difference between inequality and discernment. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a huge difference between, oh, well, you're not here because you're not, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you don't matter at all, as opposed to, you know what? You're not going to provide much in the way of substantive thought or critical thinking. I think there's a huge difference between rejection on those two different parallels. You know what I'm saying? Like there's one parallel, well, hey, ooh, that sucks. You're a woman or you're a homosexual. You know what? Just go. Just get away. Or, via history and everything that we're learning, hey, maybe you just do not have the emotional maturity to take part in these in serious conversations or matters of import, right? Like I think there's a big difference that we need to explore with this. And finally,
to expand...
let's get on over to the CIA.
They're aiming to have 30% women recruits by 2030, and even allowed YouTube influencer Michelle Khare to train with agents.
But I'm very conscious, as I sit in this chair now, of making sure that we need to attract diverse candidates and ensure that we are developing.
Okay, yeah, that's the director of the Secret Service. And, your why not is protecting the president, which is how such a situation, because as far as the details of the attempt, it was a pretty obvious, it was a spot with a very clear line of sight towards President Trump, and it should have been secured a million times over. But once again, our government has put the onus on, diversity, equity, inclusion, as opposed to, making it what it was always supposed to be, which is a meritocracy. The best person does the job. And if you have the best person doing this job, things like this don't happen. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like when you're in such positions, right? Whether it be security, law enforcement, Secret Service, FBI, like any of these things, like you can kind of take credit for things not happening. Like, oh, did we blow up today? Good job, guys. It's a crazy hustle, but it's one that, like, as long as nothing happens, everything's fine. But as soon as something happens, it all falls back on you. And ma'am, you should have already been out of that position. You should, all these DEI positions, honestly, our government's too big. All of our governments, from your municipality to your state to your federal government, they are all too large. And they need to get, people, there's a lot of fat that needs to get trimmed. But guys, that being said, all the internet stuff, like it, share it. Let's have a conversation in the comment section, man, you think I wasn't going to go to church today? After, whether if it's fake, hey, it's a hell of a political theater, but as far as I'm concerned, that shit was very real. And the president, we're 3 centimeters from this being a completely different world. Other than the insanity that it's always been our entire lives, guys. But hey, my comment section's open for you. Till the next one.